Welcome back everybody, my name is Tucker, and in today's video I'm continuing my series in which I am redrafting a whole bunch of past NBA drafts, and today's video is the 2017 class. But really quickly before we get started, if you enjoy the NBA, then consider subscribing. I upload basically every single day. Okay, so this is the Jayson Tatum, Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz class, and the most interesting thing to me about this class is how much movement there is in the top 10 compared to, just a few years ago when this draft actually happened. Typically, as we've seen in some of the more recent drafts that I've done, there isn't this much movement within the top 10 in terms of players moving up and down, but there is in this class. So you can see the order here, you can see the players that are available. Number one overall is the Philadelphia 76ers, and I think there are a couple of players, three players really, but mostly it's just two, that I think you can make an argument here to be the number one overall pick in this redraft. For me personally, I'm going to go with Jayson Tatum, who was originally the number 3 overall pick, because I think he's the best 3-level scorer in the class. I think when you also add into that what he can do on the defensive end, and you're talking about both ends of the floor, I think he's just the best player in this class right now. Someone that is going to be a future All-NBA guy if he continues to improve moving forward. Had a big breakout season this year, and there are some other guys you can make an argument for, but I just think that the ceiling, as well as what Tatum is right now, a guy that can really score the ball for a good team, I think that Jayson Tatum kind of has to be the number 1 overall pick in this class. Number 2 now, which originally was the LA Lakers, I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell, and this was the guy that I considered most strongly to be the number 1 overall pick instead of Jayson Tatum. And from a point per game standpoint, you could say that Donovan Mitchell is a better scorer than Jayson Tatum. But I think opportunity has a lot to do with that, and Tatum, whether it was with Kyrie or just a more equal opportunity offense in Boston, hasn't had as many scoring opportunities to have an average as high as Mitchell's. And Mitchell is a very, very good player, and that's why he's going number 2 overall here. But I just think that Tatum moving forward has a chance to be a much more efficient scorer just because of his size and having a few more skills in the in-between game rather than just threes and getting to the rim and to the free throw line. And I think that Tatum is going to be a better defender long-term, again, because of his physical attributes and just his athleticism and his length. So nothing against Donovan Mitchell here at all. I personally, if I'm starting an NBA team tomorrow and I can only pick out of this draft class, I'd rather have Jayson Tatum, and then I would pick Donovan Mitchell. Number 3 now, the Boston Celtics. This is probably the most interesting player to me in the entire redraft, because I think you could realistically, depending on your mindset about team building and how you want to go about building a team, you could realistically make an argument for this guy to be number 2, maybe even number 1 in this redraft. And it's Bam Adebayo, who originally went 14 and had a great season this year, an all-star caliber guy, one of the most versatile players in the league offensively and defensively. He is a sneaky good playmaker. He can score inside. He's going to continue to work on the jump shot. And on the defensive end is a defensive player of the year caliber guy in terms of the amount of positions that he can guard, in terms of his rim protection. All of those things has turned Bam Adebayo into, in my opinion, a top 3 pick in this redraft. Now, the scoring upside isn't quite there for him to be, in my opinion, over Tatum or Mitchell, but if you want to make the argument of the versatility and all the things that he does defensively, I would at least listen to the argument. But for me, Bam Adebayo is going number 3 here. And those, for me, it's either 3 or 4 guys that are in the top tier of this class. And then there's a bit of a gap, and you can kind of move forward from there. For me, the 4th overall pick, which originally was the Phoenix Suns, was originally Josh Jackson. I'm going to go De'Aaron Fox here, and he is kind of the 4th guy in this top tier. If you want to take him off of that and say that it's just Tatum, Mitchell, and Bam, then that's fine. But I love De'Aaron Fox. Didn't have a great year this year in terms of where the expectations were for him. Hopefully they get a chance to finish out the season, potentially push for the playoffs. But as long as he continues to work on his jump shot, he's going to be a really, really good NBA player and a really, really good scoring guard. Has the quickness to be an impact player on the defensive end. Still needs to be a little bit better as a playmaker moving forward, but again, has that scoring ability, and if he can work on his jump shot, is going to be a devastating offensive player for years and years to come. So for me, I think that's the first tier. We're going Tatum, Mitchell, Bam, and then De'Aaron Fox. And from there, you can kind of do whatever you want with your redraft, in my opinion. Like, it depends so much on your opinion of individual players. Like, within that top 4, it depends on, your evaluation of individual players in terms of where you would put each of those guys in that top 4. But they're going to be the top 4 in some order, at least in my opinion. And then from there, who the heck knows? And number 5 now, the Sacramento Kings. This is going to be a controversial selection, I would imagine, as somebody that, I don't know, he's a polarizing player, right? And there's one particular player that I think people were expecting to go here that I'm not going to take. Number 5, I'm going to go with Lonzo Ball, who was originally the number 2 overall pick. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce the next pick as well into this conversation, and it's John Collins. And there's a lot of you that were probably watching this video thinking, okay, when you're looking at the statistical production for John Collins, he's got to be number 5. This guy's putting up incredible numbers, rebounding and points. But when I sit here and think about it, and I'm doing a redraft, and I'm actually picking these players for my team, I would much rather have Lonzo Ball on my basketball team tomorrow than John Collins. And it's not to say that John Collins is a bad player. He's going to go number 6 overall. He was originally 19 in his draft class. He's done well for himself. But from a defensive standpoint, from a playmaking standpoint, and Lonzo as an improving shooter, I would rather have a guard like that than a big in John Collins that I'm not entirely sure where to put. Really good athlete, can get to the rim, on lobs and things like that, can finish inside, and has improved his outside jump shot to the point where it's a serviceable part of his game. But from a defensive standpoint, I don't think that he has a position, and that's a huge issue for me. And I just would rather have the versatility that Lonzo Ball provides. Whatever you think of him as a player, I just think that he can do more things for my team than John Collins can when you're considering both ends of the floor. And neither of these guys in an ideal situation are going to be the number 1 guy anyway. So when you're talking about kind of a Swiss Army knife type of player, I'd rather have Lonzo Ball than I would John Collins. It's not even necessarily that I think Lonzo is a better player. I just would rather have him on my team. So I'm going to go Lonzo 5 and John Collins 6. Number 7 overall now is a player that I wish I could put much higher. I think this guy has the potential to 2 years from now be the 5th or even the 4th guy in this class. It just depends on whether he's going to stay healthy, and it's Jonathan Isaac going number 7 overall to the Chicago Bulls. He originally went 6. If this guy can stay on the floor and continue to improve, he can be one of the best defensive players in the league and a good offensive player as well. Someone that can continue to work on his skill set there and be not the same type of player, but in terms of impact, a Bam Adebayo type player, from his defensive versatility, his ability to guard every single position, the length and the size to protect the rim, even though he is traditionally more of a 3-4 type player. And then offensively, as I said, not going to be someone that's going to put up 25 a game or anything, but can do some things on that end, get to the rim, shoot threes and things like that. It just depends on if he's going to develop the outside shot and if he's going to stay healthy, and then maybe potentially change the scenery outside of Orlando onto a team that actually needs front court help more than that team does. So that for me is kind of I wish I could put him a higher pick, but I'm going to go with Jonathan Isaac at number 7 just because I do believe in the talent that he does have. Number 8 overall now, the New York Knicks. I'm going to go Luke Kennard here, who went number 12 overall. Had a few nice seasons with the Pistons initially, but this past season, stepped it up and really put forth an offensive output that is worthy of a lottery pick, and someone that is one of the better shooters in the league, continues to work on his on-ball game, and is one of really the only building blocks in Detroit and could potentially be a trade piece moving forward depending on how they approach what is going to look like a pretty healthy rebuild here. But regardless, he should get plenty of opportunities moving forward to continue to develop and grow his game. And whether it's in Detroit or otherwise, I really like Luke Kennard moving forward. Number 9 overall now, originally the Dallas Mavericks, this was Dennis Smith Jr. This time it's going to be OG Anunoby, and he went number 23 overall originally. There's one wing specifically that you're probably wondering why I'm taking OG over someone like Kyle Kuzma, who, spoiler alert, is not going to appear in this top 10. I like the defensive ability of OG. I like the fact that he continues to improve his three-point shot, is a sneaky good passer as well. Just someone that I know when I put on the floor is going to do the right things to help me win basketball games. And I feel really comfortable having him in my wing rotation as a potential starter moving forward as well. And last up now, number 10 overall. This is a pick that it's like the Jonathan Isaac thing. I wish I could put this guy higher, but based off how this most recent season went for him, I'm really concerned. And it's Lauri Markkanen. He originally went number 7 overall, and you're probably surprised to see him all the way down here at 10. But when I really look at this list of guys in front of him, I'd rather have every single player in front of him in the top 10 on my team tomorrow rather than Lauri Markkanen because of the season that he just had and how bad it was. Like, it wasn't just, oh, he's having an off night here, an off night there. He couldn't shoot the basketball. It seems like he's lost all confidence. I don't know if it's an injury thing. I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I don't know if it's a combination of those things, but I need to see something positive out of Lauri Markkanen before I become a believer in him again. And I honestly considered not even putting him in the top 10, maybe putting someone like Jared Allen or maybe even Kyle Kuzma here at number 10 overall. I still believe in the talent that's there, but it was such a bad season from an efficiency standpoint that I'm concerned about what Lauri Markkanen is going to be moving forward. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, but that is why he slides all the way down here to number 10 behind some of the players that you see in front of him. So that is going to be the top 10 redraft here. Some notable players that were left out of the top 10. Jared Allen was in consideration for the 10th pick here. Derek White is someone that could be good down the road, but I'm still looking for some improvement. Dylan Brooks is a solid player, but again, there's just other guys that I would rather have here. The big one that you're probably wondering, why isn't he in the top 10, is Kyle Kuzma. Every single player in this top 10, I either like their talent better, I think they're just better players, or I think they're a better fit on a winning team than Kyle Kuzma is. For example, OG Anunoby, I think, is going to do the right things no matter what when I put him on the floor. I don't have that same belief in Kyle Kuzma. Maybe he proves me wrong moving forward. He's just not one of my favorite players, and he's just not a guy that I would like to have on my team, and I think that's absolutely a defensible take. So this is a redraft that I think people are going to have a lot of opinions on, especially once you get past number 4. 5 through 10 and beyond is just kind of a crapshoot and depends on your own evaluation of all these individual players, and I'm interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below as always. But yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video, and I thank you all very much for watching. Once again, my name is Tucker. If you missed any of my previous videos, then be sure to check out the boxes on screen. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next time.